She was the golden goddess of television, the stunning blonde who defined glamour on Dynasty. To the world, Linda Evans was elegance, class, and Hollywood perfection. But behind the sparkling gowns and the catfights with Joan Collins, her private life was a storm of fiery romances, shocking betrayals, explosive feuds, and scandals that nearly broke her career. Tonight we peel back the curtain on Linda Evans' most intimate secrets, her loves, her fights, her scandals, and her controversies. This is the story you were never supposed to hear. Linda Evans burst into Hollywood in the 1960s, a blonde beauty with striking blue eyes who could silence a room just by walking in. Her charm didn't just capture casting directors, it drew in powerful men. Her first great romance was with actor John Derek, a man 12 years her senior, already notorious in Hollywood for his wandering eye. Their love story seemed passionate, but it was complicated. Derek left his then-wife for Linda. For a time, she thought she had found her soulmate. They shared red carpets, private dinners, and Hollywood's golden lifestyle. But Derek was not a one-woman man. Soon, rumors of his affairs circulated. Hollywood whispered. Paparazzi caught him with young models. And Linda, once hopeful, now felt betrayed. By 1974, their marriage collapsed. But it wasn't just a divorce, it was a scandal.
Why?
Because Derek quickly went on to marry Bo Derek, then just a teenager when their affair began. Linda, humiliated, was dragged into tabloids as the older wife left behind. For years, this would haunt her. It was the first time the public saw Linda not as the glamorous star, but as the heartbroken woman in the middle of a Hollywood scandal. After her divorce, Linda Evans entered a string of romances that kept the press hungry. She was linked with high-profile actors, producers, and even musicians. One of her most famous romances was with Lee Majors, star of The $6 Million Man. Their chemistry was undeniable, but their relationship was turbulent. Behind the scenes, friends claimed they argued constantly, often about careers, jealousy, and Linda's growing fame. Then came her fiery romance with Yanni, the Greek composer. For years, Linda and Yanni were inseparable. She called him her soulmate, her true love. They lived together, built a life of passion and creativity. But even that love ended, leaving Linda once again alone, and tabloids speculating endlessly. Her love life was never quiet. The more famous she became, the more the world wanted to know, who was Linda Evans really with? And who had broken her heart this time? By the 1980s, Linda had landed the role that would make her a global superstar, Krystle Carrington on Dynasty. On screen, she was the angelic opposite to Joan Collins' wickedly glamorous Alexis Carrington. But while the catfights in fountains and mud became iconic television history, the tension wasn't always just acting. Behind the cameras, whispers grew that Linda and Joan's rivalry wasn't entirely scripted. Crew members were called icy silences between takes, subtle digs in interviews, and a competition for screen time. One infamous story claims Linda once walked off set after a particularly physical fight scene, furious that Joan had pulled her hair too hard. Another rumor suggests that producers actually encouraged the off-screen rivalry because it made their on-screen chemistry explode with authenticity. Linda, ever the professional, denied hating Joan. But Hollywood thrives on drama, and the tabloids painted them as bitter enemies locked in a glamorous war. Linda Evans wasn't just battling co-stars, she was battling Hollywood's obsession with beauty. In the 1980s and 90s, whispers began about cosmetic surgery. Paparazzi zoomed in on every wrinkle, every change in her face. Magazines accused her of being too vain, too obsessed with staying young. Rumors swirled about facelifts, Botox, and secret beauty treatments. Linda herself admitted to some procedures, but often expressed regret, saying Hollywood's pressure to stay youthful was unbearable. The scandal wasn't just about her looks, it was about the cruel double standard women in Hollywood faced. While aging male stars were called distinguished, women like Linda were shamed for simply growing older. It hurt her deeply, and in interviews, she fought back, saying beauty was never the real measure of her worth. But the damage was done. The gossip pages feasted on it for years. In the 1990s, another wild rumor exploded, whispers of a connection between Linda Evans and then-President Bill Clinton. While there was never proof, gossip magazines ran suggestive headlines linking them. Some claimed they shared a flirtation, others hinted at more. Linda, caught off guard, firmly denied any romantic involvement with Clinton. But in Hollywood, denial doesn't always kill a story. The whispers lingered, and once again, Linda's love life became tabloid fuel, scandal without evidence, but scandal nonetheless. Linda wasn't just fighting lovers and tabloids, she was also fighting betrayal within her inner circle. Friends turned on her, confidants sold stories to magazines, and she found herself surrounded by scandal not because of her actions, but because of others' greed. One particularly painful betrayal came when private details about her breakup with Yanni leaked. Friends believed someone close to her had sold the story. For Linda, it wasn't just heartbreak, it was humiliation. She admitted later that fame came with a terrible price. You could never fully trust anyone. As her career slowed in the 1990s and 2000s, Linda Evans faced another challenge: financial and legal troubles. In 2014, she was arrested in Washington state for driving under the influence of prescription pills. The arrest shocked fans who still picture her as the pristine Krystle Carrington. Tabloids had a field day, the glamorous star of Dynasty, now photographed in a mugshot. Though Linda explained it was a mistake and that she was struggling with pain and medication, the incident stained her image. For weeks, gossip columns replayed her fall from grace. It was yet another controversy in a life that seemed unable to escape drama. In her later years, Linda Evans admitted to struggling with loneliness. After so many failed relationships, so many scandals, she spoke openly about still searching for true love. She confessed that despite the fame, the beauty, and the success, her personal life was often filled with heartbreak. And yet, she remained resilient. Even through the fights, the scandals, and the controversies, Linda Evans carried herself with grace. She became a symbol, not just of glamour, but of survival in a world that tried to tear her down again and again. Linda Evans may have played the saintly Krystle on Dynasty, but her real life was anything but angelic. From fiery romances to bitter rivalries, from scandals to heartbreak, she lived a life as dramatic as the soap operas that made her famous. Her story reminds us that behind every glamorous smile lies a battlefield of love, betrayal, and controversy. And Linda Evans? She fought every war and survived.